Thank you, Dr. Córdova. That was wonderful. Great presentation. I'd also like to thank you for being such a strong and effective director of the National Science Foundation and for being such a good friend to international Arctic science. You've been really good for us.
Thank you.
So I think I'll take the first question, if the audience will allow. And you mentioned at the end about engaging indigenous communities. Can you tell us how NSF is doing that, and are other federal agencies also engaging that way too?
Yes, absolutely. So first let me take the other federal agencies. The NSF is not a regulatory agency nor a policy agency. We're a research agency, and our mission is to further the progress of science. So what we fund is really great research. That said, we are members of the National Science and Technology Council in the White House. This is chaired by the director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, Kelvin Drogemeyer. And we have many different committees and groups that are led or joined by the different agencies and the different science agencies in the U.S. government. And one of those is the Interagency Arctic Research Policy Committee, and I chair that. And so we gather about 20 different scientific agencies and organizations periodically to talk about what we're all doing in the Arctic. As some people have noticed, there's a lot in the U.S., a lot of different efforts. And so I think a major goal of ours is to coordinate those efforts, make them coherent, and to work together with the communities that are in the Arctic in order so they'll have more impact by being coherent. So we have a strategic plan, and we're re-upping a new 5-year strategic plan shortly, and we just talked about that a week or two ago. And so I've been to the Arctic, of course, a few times, and I've talked with Native leaders, and they've really impressed on me the importance of our scientists from all our agencies working closely with them as we design and implement our experiments so that we go not at cross purposes, but so we're working together on common goals. And so that is one way that we do it. And then also, as I mentioned, we do have support of Native students and their faculty and all to engage them in the research that we do. And I figured that that's good news for the future of the Arctic.
Excellent. So I think we'll open it up to the audience now for, are there any questions from the audience? Yes, please. Is right here.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I go to school at the University of Texas in Austin. And I had a question. I was wondering how the NSF deals with operating under an administration that for the most part denies human-driven climate change, and if this hinders the work that the NSF does.
The NSF is an executive branch agency, and in that role I report directly to the White House, and we have very, very good relationships. I think we have a very strong arm for science and technology policy that I just mentioned called OSTP, and it is led by a meteorologist, Kelvin Drogemeyer, who I've known for years and years. He was vice chair of my board, the National Science Board, that is the policy arm of NSF. And I think he's approaching the challenges of climate change very wisely. We at the agency, as I said, we're a science agency. We have never had any direction about what we could or couldn't do. We are just expected to fund through our merit review process the best research possible, and we haven't been inhibited in that. In fact, Congress has given us some additional monies every year for the past few years in order to do that mission better. And I think some of you know that we have a large portfolio in the geosciences, which includes our polar efforts. In Antarctica, we run the U.S. Antarctica program with 3 bases there on behalf of the entire government. So I would say our relationship is strong. We have excellent scientists at OSTP and the White House furthering science and technology policy. I mentioned the interagency group that I chair that has a very, very good strategic plan. So I believe that we are moving forward to address the changes and to look at both the opportunities and the challenges that they present. Thank you for your question.
And I have to thank you here and end. We're out of time, but thank you for a wonderful presentation, and thanks for your continued great leadership.
Thank you, Larry.